Yo, what's going on YouTube? It's your boy Alex Thomas here, back with another video for you guys today. If you guys have not subscribed to Tim Talkies, definitely go subscribe to his YouTube channel. He's doing another physical media community challenge for the top 25 movies in the 80s. Basically, you know, I think the rules is you basically come up with your 25 list of movies from the 80s. You send it to him, and that's when, you know, they do all the tallies when it comes to the point system and stuff like that. So I'm going to give you guys my top 25 of the 80s. Now, this list was hard, but not hard at the same time, because most of these movies I really do enjoy and I really do love. So I'm going to give you guys my top 25. Like I said, this is my list. So you guys can judge me all you want, but this is my list. All the lists are not going to be the same. They're going to be very different. You guys will probably know what my number one is, but yeah, so this is going to be my top 25 list of the 80s. So hope you guys are ready for this. If you guys enjoy videos like this, please hit that like button, please subscribe for more. Like I said, if you guys have not subscribed to Tim Talkies, definitely subscribe to this YouTube channel. Obviously I'll tag them in the video, so you guys can subscribe to this YouTube channel. But yeah, so let's go ahead and get into the video. Let's get it. Let's go. All right, you guys, starting out with I'm going 25-1, obviously. So my 25 is going to be Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Now, I remember watching this movie a lot as a kid. You know, the fact that they did 2D animation with, you know, live action characters, I thought was amazing when I was little. Obviously, we all love Jessica Rabbit, and I thought Roger Rabbit was a very funny character. And I thought the movie was really good. So definitely I had to put this in my top 25, and it comes in at 25. Now, my number 24 is going to be Teen Wolf, starring Michael J. Fox. I absolutely love this movie. Obviously, I'm a huge fan of Michael J. Fox. Definitely cheesy 80s movie. You know, I definitely recommend it if you guys have not seen it. Obviously, I love this Scream Factory slipcover. I actually bought it twice because I love this slipcover. Yeah, I had to put this in my top 25. This is definitely straight 80s. If you guys have not checked it out, definitely check out Teen Wolf. My number 23 is going to be Friday the 13th, part 4, the final chapter. This is actually my favorite of the series. Well, it always go between 4 and 6, but I recently watched it, and yeah, part 4 is really good. I love the Jason in this movie. I like the characters that's in the movie. And yeah, I think it's a really good, really decent slasher. The 80s were basically like, you know, the slashers were in, you know, a lot of comedies, you know, action was a big thing in the 80s. So, you know, Friday the 13th was one of the franchise that basically took off in the 80s. So, of course, it had to be in my top 25. So, yeah, coming in at number 23 is going to be Friday the 13th, part 4. Coming in at number 22 is going to be Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers. Of course, I had to put this in my top 25 because I love this movie. I don't care. Nobody say this is like one of my top 3 when it comes to Halloween movies. I love the way this movie looks. I love the way it feels. Besides the mask, I love mostly everything about it. I love the Jamie character. You know, I like Rachel and all that stuff. So yeah, I had to put this in my top 25. So yeah, Halloween 4 is definitely in my top 25 for sure, for sure. Next, coming up, I think number 21 is going to be The Goonies. Every kid needs to watch this movie. You guys have little kids at home, definitely show this movie to your kids. Definitely straight 80s, man. Presented by Steven Spielberg, directed by Richard Donner. Great cast of characters, man. You know, great adventure, great fun. If you guys have not checked it out, definitely check out The Goonies. And it had to come in my top 25. So yeah, it comes in at number 22. So yeah, The Goonies on 4K. Coming in at my number 20 is going to be Beverly Hills Cop, starring Eddie Murphy. Yeah, this is another movie that just screams 80s. Like the music, the style, you know. Of course, you see a lot of Michael Jackson stuff all over the place in this movie. And yeah, Eddie Murphy kills it as Axel Foley. If you guys have not checked out Beverly Hills Cop, definitely check it out. I need to upgrade this to 4K. Let me know if you guys know the 4K is good. I never upgraded it because I had the Blu-ray. I like part 2, really don't like part 3. But this one is a really good movie. If you guys have not checked out Beverly Hills Cop, definitely check it out. Like I said, this movie just screams 80s for sure, for sure. So yeah, so Beverly Hills Cop definitely came into my top 25. Next, we got Big with Tom Hanks. Yes, this movie. It's funny because I saw Toy Story before I saw this movie, and when he started talking, I'm like, "That's Woody from Toy Story." But yeah, this is obviously before Toy Story, and I think this movie is great. Yeah, I mean, it's about, Tom Hanks plays a kid. He wishes he was big. The next day he becomes an adult, and it's a really good movie. Definitely check it out if you guys have not seen it. Yeah, it's a really enjoyable watch. So yeah, big. Next, we got some action coming here. We got Die Hard with Bruce Willis. Another movie that just screams 80s action cheese. I love this movie. And yes, I'm going to say it on here. This is a Christmas movie, guys. Don't feel bad about it. Watch this around Christmas. He's going to the plaza because it's a Christmas party. There's, how many times do they say Christmas in this movie? Yeah, of course, the movie essence isn't about Christmas, but the movie takes place around Christmas. So yeah, I consider it a Christmas movie. But I love this movie. I love it. Bruce Willis is great. Alan Rickman is great. Yeah, definitely. If you guys have not checked out Die Hard, you guys are living under a rock. It's one of the greatest action movies ever made. So yeah, Die Hard definitely cracked my top 25 for sure. Next, we got some Arnold coming in here. We got Predator. Yes, man, this is another movie that just screams 80s with the one-liners, the muscles, just, the jungle, and Arnold just being Arnold, man, with the one-liners and just kicking ass, man. Oh my God, this movie is straight awesome. Directed by John McTiernan, did a great job with the direction. Alan Silvestri with the score. Like, yeah, this movie is really good. Of course, I have the nice steelbook here. And this movie is awesome. If you guys have not checked out Predator, definitely check it out. It's great. It's really good. Next, we got coming up on my list, we got Top Gun. Yes, man. This movie is awesome. Of course, Maverick is better, but yeah, this movie is really good. I found some really enjoyment when obviously when the new one came out. I watched this before it came out. And yeah, this movie is really good. The 4K looks really good as well. So Top Gun definitely had to crack my top 25 for the 80s for sure. Next, we got The Karate Kid. Yes, another movie that just screams 80s, man, with the hair, the style, just the way the movie looks. I think Ralph Macchio was really good in the role as Daniel-san. Of course, Mr. Miyagi. Mr. Miyagi is great. And this movie is awesome. This movie is really good. Of course, the third act is just straight awesome. Like that where it just screams 80s just by the music. And man, this movie is awesome. Of course, I had to have the 4K. I got the 4K box set, and I just love this artwork. I love that they came with their own slips as well. So of course, the Karate Kid had to crack my top 25. It was only right to put this in there. Next, we got Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, you guys. Oh my God, I watched this movie so much as a kid. It's been a while since I've watched it. Of course, I got the Blu-ray from Disney Movie Club. This is a Disney Movie Club exclusive. And yeah, this movie is awesome. I love this movie. This is another movie that just feels 80s. It does. It's late 80s, but it's definitely an 80s movie. If you guys have not checked out Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, definitely check it out as well. It's a really good watch. Great characters. I think the practical effects are really good in this movie. Some of the special effects don't really hold up, but the practical effects are really good. So yeah, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids definitely cracked my top 25 for sure. Next, we got Coming to America, another Eddie Murphy film that is awesome. It is great. It is hilarious. Eddie Murphy probably plays like 5 different characters in this movie. Same with Arsenio Hall. He plays like 5 different characters in this movie. I don't know if they didn't really want to hire a lot of people, or Eddie Murphy was like, I think I could play every single one of these characters. And it's great. John Landis directed this as well. This movie is hilarious. The sequel, not so much. But this movie, yes, this movie is hilarious. And I love it. I love this movie. So yeah, Coming to America definitely cracked my top 25. Next, we got Batman 89. It wouldn't be right if Batman didn't end up on everyone's list. Batman needs to be on there. Like this movie is awesome. Michael Keaton is Batman. Jack Nicholson as the Joker. Danny Elfman's score. This is Tim Burton. Like, bro, this movie is really good. This movie is great. Like I said, this is another movie that just screams 80s. The Prince music, like, man, yeah, it's Batman '89, man. Like, come on, like, of course I have the 4K steelbook, got the steelbook set, and I love this movie. I do. I love this movie, and of course it had to crack my top 25. It's only right if Batman '89 is not in the top 25 of the '80s. Next, we got The Breakfast Club, directed by John Hughes, with a great cast of characters. You know, it's about 5 kids that goes to Saturday detention, and you know they have nothing in common, but they start to get to know each other and their backgrounds, and it becomes very emotional, and they all become friends in the end. And it's a good movie. It's a really good movie. Yeah, definitely John Hughes at his height. And I think everyone is great in this movie. Everyone does a really good job. So yeah, if you guys have not checked out Breakfast Club, definitely check it out. I'm surprised there's not a 4K for this yet. I think the anniversary already passed, which is surprising there's not a 4K for it. I feel like Criterion is going to release the 4K, but yeah, so Breakfast Club definitely cracked the top 25. The Terminator, man. Oh my God. The movie that, I guess you could say this is the movie that put Arnold on the map. He did the Conan movies before this, but this was the movie that kind of put him in, it put him in on the map. It basically made him a star. James Cameron, with the little budget that he has, did the best he could with this movie and did an amazing job. Linda Hamilton is great. Michael Biehn is great. The story is awesome. Stan Winston's, his makeup effects and stuff is awesome. Yeah, I love this movie. Like, this movie is straight 80s as well, with the music and the hair. Like, we're gonna talk about hair because the hair in all these movies is straight 80s. But yeah, I think this movie is straight awesome. Sci-fi at its best, and it's kind of a horror movie. It's kind of a horror movie on the low. So yeah, The Terminator. All right, next we got a twofer here. So we got my 9 and 8. I think I'm at 8 or 9 right now, and they're both go together because they're in the same franchise. And it's Nightmare on Elm Street and Nightmare on Elm Street 3. These two, vice versa, of which one is my favorite of the franchise. I love the first movie, but I also love Dream Warriors, and it had to crack the top 25 because I think this was the slashers at its height, especially with Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3. And the first movie, I still remember the first time I saw Nightmare on Elm Street. It fucking scared my socks off. I thought Freddy Krueger was one of the scariest characters ever created. And yeah, I mean, you can't say 80s without thinking of Freddy Krueger, Jason. These characters solidify the 80s. And of course, the first movie and the third movie had to crack my top 25 for sure. So yeah, my 9 and 8, I think I'm at 8 and 9. Nightmare on Elm Street 3 and the first Nightmare on Elm Street. All right, now we're coming down to the top 7. My number 7 is going to be The Shining. Stanley Kubrick's The Shining, starring Jack Nicholson. This movie is fantastic. The 4K is fantastic. Jack Nicholson is fantastic. Stanley Kubrick directed the hell out of this movie. The visuals, just the camera work, the production design, everything with this movie is great. I love this movie. I kind of watched this movie around the winter time as well, obviously because this movie takes place in the winter. But I think this movie is awesome. This movie is awesome as well. So yeah, definitely check it out if you guys have not seen it. The Shining. My number 6 is going to be John Carpenter's The Thing. This is another awesome horror movie with great practical effects, a great cast of characters. One of those type of movies where it's like, who is the thing? This movie is very tense, very suspenseful, and I think John Carpenter did a great job with the direction. Kurt Russell is great in this movie as well. I love this steelbook from Scream Factory, and it's one of the best horror movies ever made. It had to crack the top 25 for sure. So yeah, John Carpenter's The Thing. All right, now we're coming in my top 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, we're coming in my top 5. And coming in number 5 is Poltergeist, directed by Tobe Hooper, produced by Steven Spielberg. Yes, I said that right. Steven Spielberg did not direct this movie. He produced it. Tobe Hooper directed this movie. And another great horror film that is really holds up today. I still remember the first time I saw this movie. I was very creeped out about it. I have the digibook. Of course, I have the 4K, but I had to show the digibook because I love this artwork. And of course, I don't really get rid of digibooks and stuff like that. But yeah, this had to crack my top 5. This movie is awesome. It's great. Definitely check it out if you haven't. All right, coming in at my number 4 is Scarface with Al Pacino. Straight gangster mob movie to the top, man. Like, Al Pacino kills it as Tony Montana. Brian De Palma directed the hell out of this movie. Everyone is great in this movie. Like, Michelle Pfeiffer is great. I think all the cast of characters is great. Like, this another movie that just screams 80s. Like, being in Miami in the 80s probably was a great time because, you know, it was, you know, the parties, just, you know, it felt like you were just living the life in Miami in the 80s. And this movie definitely solidified that time period, and I think this movie is awesome. If you guys have not checked out Scarface, definitely check it out. All right, now we're coming in my top 3. Coming in at number 3 is Star Wars: The Empire Strikes Back. My favorite Star Wars movie of all time. The best Star Wars movie of all time. And yeah, I said it first. This is the best Star Wars movie of all time. It's the best one that is made. It's great. It's awesome. Darth Vader is awesome. Luke Skywalker is awesome. Han Solo, Princess Leia, you know, Yoda, you know, just the music. The third act of this movie is just, it's fucking Empire Strikes Back, you guys. This movie is so great. If you guys have not checked out Empire Strikes Back, what are you guys doing? Just watch it. All right, now we're coming in my top 2. Coming in at number 2, and is E.T. the Extraterrestrial. I watched this movie so much as a kid. Of course, I had to show the lenticular box with the 4K. The score. Oh my God, the music. John Williams was in his bag when he was doing the score for this movie. Steven Spielberg directed the hell out of this movie. It's just a great adventure movie. It is. Like, it really is. It really holds up today. I really do believe it still holds up. It's one of the greatest movies of the 80s. It is. It's one of the greatest movies of the 80s. It is, for sure. And coming in at number 1, and of course you guys already know what it is. I haven't mentioned it all video. You guys probably know what it is. And of course that is Back to the Future. It's my favorite movie of all time. I absolutely love this movie. I thought when I was growing up, Michael J. Fox and Marty McFly were the coolest people on the planet. I thought Doc Brown was awesome. The DeLorean, like, everyone wants a DeLorean because of this movie. The story, the characters, just the music. Alan Silvestri was again in his bag with this movie as well. With all movies, I kind of look at this as one movie. Obviously, it's part 1, part 2, part 3, but if I had to put this one and part 2 together, like, yeah, it's yes, I will take it. And yeah, I had to put this at number 1. Everyone should put this at number 1. Back to the Future is a damn near perfect movie. It is. The script, the direction, the acting, everything. It's top tier. It's top tier. It really is. And I had to put it at number 1. And yes, of course, that is Back to the Future. And that does it, you guys, for my top 25 movies of the 80s. If you guys want to give me you guys your top 25 in the comment section below, let me know what your guys' top 25 is in the comment section below. Go check out Tim Tall Talkie's YouTube channel to get the rules and stuff. You guys want to enter into this stuff to, you know, get all, you know, make your list and send it to him. I'm sure he will really appreciate it. Definitely go check out his YouTube channel. If you guys are not subscribed to me and this is your first time watching my channel, please hit that like button. Please subscribe for more. More videos will be coming in the near future if you guys are ready for that as well. And I'm out on this one, you guys. Peace out.